G'day everybody, welcome back to my channel. In this video you're going to see the sequel to the building of the rodent-free enclosure, as I have promised you before. And along with my wife and myself, we're very happy with the results, I must tell you now. And if you like, please give us a thumbs up and join our channel. Thank you. Which is the male one? Which one's the male one? Male? Female? Male? Is that a female?
No, I'm collecting Danica.
Oh, you're just collecting. Well,
If there is a fruit, it's alright. If you don't have also, it's okay. Don't care.
yeah, no, there's fruit down the bottom here. I can see fruit. have gone to the top now and joining hands, so it secures the plant a little bit. We have string going all the way up, really nice. And adhered very well. Of course, we do have plants that have not done as well as what they should have done. We still get the insects in there, but it's much easier to control. I was a little bit worried in the beginning that we weren't getting very much fruit on here because we have bee problems. The bees are not coming in because this mesh is 6mm by 6mm and they don't seem to like to come in. I see a couple, but not very many. Don't worry, they still get in here, the bugs though. Just noticed there was a couple of tomatoes that had holes in them and all that, so we just pulled those off. Got the bugs, got rid of them. So it's a nice little garden, and it has really worked out well. You can see the health of these beans here, they're just superb. And those beans are called the snake beans, and they grow very prolific in the soil. And very shortly they start getting beans on in January, late January, February, right through to March, and we just get heaps and heaps of them coming off on a daily basis. But of course we still get the little bugs that come in, but it's much more controllable if you can keep the vermin out. If you can keep your vermin out of your garden, I'm damn sure that you're one step closer to it. Now we're just attacking just those other bugs. I see some silver beet down there. That has holes in the, if we can get that into focus, might be able to show you in this vegetable jungle garden. Holes in the silver beet leaves, which horrifies me, so it means we're going to go out here and have a look for the bugs. Actually, cauliflowers, they seem to be going alright, but they just not seem to be forming heads. I don't know how long they take to form heads, and looking forward to that. But generally, the garden has turned out magnificent. We get these non-hot peppers down here, they're just, wow, so good. And I dare say that we, that's a lot of the bugs, we stopped the white butterfly coming in, but obviously there are other things here and all that are causing problems. We have to find out about. Keeping the weeds down is very hard. All this is trickle irrigation. I'll put it under. You've got to keep an eye on that too. I'm out each morning that the water comes on, which is twice a week now. It's only allowed in Western Australia, in WA. And the plants that we do grow in here are the ones that are more than likely to be eaten by vermin. Pepinos, I'll close this gate, make sure I close it. Okay, this is the pepino. It's got a few fruit, but all of a sudden, you can probably see that in there. Okay, I'll open that up for you. There you are. And of course we've got other ones, but they're a little bit deformed here, but we sort of had a bit of a problem. We did have a bit of a problem, like a bug was getting into the new growth. It was killing all the new growth. and all the flowers were dying. So we sprayed it, and then all of a sudden it all come good. When you're dealing with this type of insects and all that, they're tough insects. Got some more underneath here. They have got fruit going there. They can take 30 to 80 days to ripen, so it's good. Okay, this is our second crop of corn. We've done okay, but I really look at it as worthwhile doing corns. You get 2 to 3 ears per corn. You're lucky if you get 3. Not all in this ground, you will. And then you get nothing. That's it. So you pull the plant out. But anyway, it's nice to have nice fresh corn. And in the background there's some lemongrass. Of course the rodents probably like to live in that. They don't eat it. And actually with that is sweet potatoes. They're doing quite well. Okay, this is our little plot of asparagus. And we're quite well. We've got over 2 dozen stalks there, and I don't know if you can see there, but there's some new ones coming up. There's nothing like fresh asparagus. And of course you cut them, sometimes you only get 2 or 3, but you can put them in the fridge and cover them up, and then before you start cooking, give them 3 or 4 hours in some water in a glass, and you'll see they'll stand up again. Very nice. Lovely flavour. Another thing that we've put in our fruit trees and all fruit bearing trees to stop the fruit flies, and you probably see them in the garden there too. Well, we use these water bottles and put four holes around. I can point them out to you. One there, one there, one there. Fairly good size, as you can see, and so forth. And then we put apple cider vinegar in, or you can use white vinegar and add a teaspoon of honey to it. This attracts the fruit fly. As you can probably see, we've got a fair few in there. That works quite good. It doesn't take them all away, it takes a number of them away. I'm not a great advocate of raised beds whatsoever, but I've got 2 here. We tried it and never really worked out right, but sweet potatoes they'll grow anywhere, and of course we've got the sweet potatoes out the front there. Yeah. You can probably see these plants there. It's a remain of the gladiolas. I'll dig those up in that. In the background we have got butternut pumpkins and of course more sweet potatoes. It's just going berserk, and we've got some nice pumpkins I can see down the back there. Butternut pumpkins growing. So that's turned out very well. And of course, along as with everything, I have been using the outback camera, and I finally one that worked properly. And all the time that I've been using it, setting up at night and all that, I've only picked up one vermin. I'll show you that coming up. Plants that do die, and there's some that get diseases on or carry the disease, and ones that struggle to grow. Well, these ones in the corner seem to be struggling, yet all the others over here up to the top and blowing itself away. Beautiful rosemary that we have here. Passion fruit that we put in, and that variety is, this variety is called the Panama Gold. What we do have is a lack of information about growing vegetables in the Perth area, you know, really to aspects of growing vegetables and fruits and all that in your backyard. But I know what is a lot of, there's a lot of bugs and all that, and fruit flies and everything. Our neighbours gave us this avocado plant when it was only about 3 foot high. That was 2 years ago I would say. And now we've got the first real season of having some avocados on there, and it stood up to the wind, and you can probably see how I've staked right all these stakes there to try and stop it from leaning over and all that, but I can't stop the big ones, big branch up the top there leaning over, so unfortunately that's it. But we put it in this area because of the wind, try and reduce the wind, but it seems to be plenty of wind anyway here. But at least the avocados are staying on. They're about 2.5, 65 mil long. That one is there anyway. And there's a bunch of 3 up there, which is great, you know. If we get a half a dozen off here, there's half a dozen avocados that we can enjoy to eat. There's nothing like an avocado smoothie, nothing like avocado on bread, nothing like avocado in a salad. There's nothing like avocado. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this mango. I hope we can keep the wind down. We have got these natural breaks up the back there, but we seem to get wind still coming through, as you see now, which is a pain. I was thinking of putting a natural screen up there, $1 million, and trying to do that. The area is very small. We've probably got about 8 feet there between them, 8 feet, that was 2.5 metres in between the wall of the shed and here. But I must show you this next section. Hopefully we can get in there to see it. If you're going to grow any lettuce, if we've grown, the date today is 12th of January, okay, and those lettuce in there, beautiful selection of lettuce and all different types and all that, grow just magnificent in this little section here. When I used to breed budgerigars, I could see why they done well, because I've made this area for that reason, to get a right amount of sunlight, not too hot, not too cold. We don't move anywhere from that distance there, so it probably gets about 4 hours of sunlight, and but it's protected because it's got that mesh on, and plus the old netting that I used to, which you can probably see on the side there, to keep the hawks out and all this, while this will be acting as a little bit of a shade. And I must mention that that 6 mil by 6 mil galvanised netting around the vegetable garden out there on the covering is giving it a little bit of shade too. So hence that's why the vegetables are starting to really take off at this moment now. Beforehand they were struggling, I thought, and they never started going until probably halfway through December. So they usually do take off a little bit later. But then again, saying that, we've got tomatoes a ripe tomato on 20th of December. It's not ripe enough anyway. Anyway, thanks for watching the channel, and just click the thumb going up, not going down, and subscribe. And we'll keep you informed how we are going here. I dare say that before I go, our season has been pretty good, but we've still got a long way through the vegetable season to go yet, and looking forward to see how those cucumbers going, and of course my wife fertilising or pollinating the flowers, and how she does that is with a brush, a very fine brush, and she gets the male flowers. It actually doesn't matter what type of plant there, although those vines we've got out there in the garden are rock melons and cucumbers. So, but she doesn't matter, because bees, when they move around in the flowers, it doesn't matter what they do, they will still carry the pollination from one plant to the other, or one flower to the other, from the male to the female plants. Doing that with pumpkins to improve their production. And avocados work a little bit different. They have male and female flowers. They have flowers that open in the morning and flowers open at night. Male, female, which I don't know. But what happens? You get bees that around about during the day are flying around on the avocados. They pick up the pollination from the males. So I think the males do flower first thing in the morning, and then in the evening the morning flowers have closed and the afternoon flowers that open up, and that's how they do the fertilisation. So that's how that works, I am led to believe. Okay, all the best. Cheers.